Welcome to the solution demo for the ControlsBond product. In this video, we are going to discuss frameworks. Frameworks are where you can create a master library of risks and controls. These can be centrally managed, and changes to your framework can propagate down into your active projects, essentially providing a single source of truth for all of your risks and controls. So here you are in your controls workspace, and you are now in a more centralized area for your risk library. In fact, this is the master risk and control library for the financial processes within SOX. And the dashboard is going to allow you to manage any updates to risks or controls that have been changed at the master library level. Now, there are some linkages, of course, between the risks that you have in your library and your controls into the various processes that are being tested in your controls workspace. So you are not in that workspace right now, but in the master library. So the question is, how do you get all of your risks and controls into this library? Well, it's a quick and easy process to set up your master risk and control library. One activity or feature that you could use is to simply import any existing spreadsheet that you have into this library. So if you have your risk and controls documented in a fairly structured fashion within maybe an Excel spreadsheet, then it would be a simple process to use our Excel importer to pull in all of your risks and controls. Another option would be to pull from the platform's pre-built SOX framework. In this case, we are actually using the COSO framework, and we've already outlined a number of the significant processes or common processes that would often be tested as you look at your entity level controls and other controls across your organization. So if you're looking for a framework that would allow you to test all your controls in abidance with COSO, this might not be a bad approach, as all of the content is already prefabricated, and each and every process would in of itself have several risks and controls already populated into the library. And what we're looking for is to create a single source of truth for each one of these processes within this library. And so SOX professionals would use this control library to add new risks or controls, or update the controls that they have currently within their library. Now, as you drill into one control here within Treasury, you can see the specific aspects of the control, including the attributes. And if you were in charge of this particular area, and if you were the SOX professional that was validating and perhaps getting ready for assessing or testing the control, you would want to make sure that the documentation is up to date. And if you were in fact knowledgeable enough to know that there have been some changes, perhaps you were speaking with the process owner, you may now know that this in fact is a key control. And at the same time, you might actually want to input the name of the process owner by selecting it from the user list. And of course, you could simply just type that name in as well if they are not a current user within the system. So you have your control, you have some attributes, and you've actually changed it within your master library. And so what you are now able to see is whether or not you have any projects in your controls workspace that are synced to this control. And in fact, in this case, you do. You are testing some financial control processes in your project, and the control that you have is up to date with the control that you have here in your master library, which of course is exactly what we want to see. But if you were to make any changes, as you just did, when you come back to your dashboard, you're going to be presented with options as far as what to do with these changes. So you can see a few in here, and if you decided that yes, you're satisfied with the top level changes to the control environment, and you want that now to be resynced to all of the controls that exist in that project, then you can simply just say update. This then becomes an incredibly easy way, first off, to document and maintain a risk and control library, but also to save on the time it takes to change the attributes or documentation around those risks and controls. So once this is set up, you can leverage this in your different SOX projects, for example, across different regions and also your audits, and updates you need to make to your master risk and control will cascade everywhere. So to recap this video, you saw that frameworks are where you can create a master library of risk and controls. These can be centrally managed, and changes to your framework can propagate down into your active projects, essentially providing a single source of truth for all your risks and controls. To learn more about ControlsBond, watch the other videos in this series, contact your account executive, or email us at info@wegalvanize.com.